Hey everyone, Dr. Alex here, and today I want to go over an article I posted to my website called When Superfoods Attack, How Healthy Foods Can Increase Your Risk of Kidney Stones. If you've ever had a kidney stone or know someone who's had a kidney stone, you'll know that they are excruciating. They're debilitatingly painful and they're not something you want to get. Kidney stones are small, hard deposits of oxalic acid crystals in the kidneys. They form when you're eating foods that have high oxalic acid content. The oxalate binds to calcium and it'll form crystals in the kidneys, which are kidney stones. When you excrete them, they're very, very painful. Now, let's look at some of the top oxalate-containing foods, and first, thresholds for healthy oxalate consumption. I found a couple studies. One says that consuming more than 250 milligrams of oxalate per day increases the risk of kidney stone formation. Another one found that women who consume more than 400 milligrams of dietary oxalate per day had a 44% higher risk than those who consume less than 150 milligrams per day. Now, these seem like small numbers. However, when you look at the foods that have oxalate content or high oxalate content, it's very easy to get to these thresholds. And 44% higher risk is pretty substantial. It might not sound like a lot, but let's say if you have a 10% chance of getting a kidney stone over your lifetime, this will mean you have a 14.4% chance of developing a kidney stone. And considering how painful they are, they're not something that you want to have. And a lot of these foods with the high oxalate content do have alternatives that you may consider instead of these foods. So let's go over them. Swiss chard. 1 cup of cooked Swiss chard contains approximately 962 milligrams of oxalate. That's a lot. That's more than twice the 400 milligram threshold for the 44% increase. Even a half a cup of Swiss chard. I don't know that many people are going to go around eating one entire cup of Swiss chard. However, a half a cup, that's still well over that 400 milligram threshold. Additionally, if you're health conscious and you're eating stuff like Swiss chard, soybeans, and spinach, chances are you're eating other foods that have high oxalate content. Almonds, quinoa. Let's move on. Soybeans. 1 cup of cooked soybeans contains approximately 755 milligrams of oxalate. So that's a lot. I don't particularly think soybeans are that healthy for you. Probably a topic for another video. However, they only became popular. They're really like a kind of a waste product or a garbage food that farmers maybe found a way to market instead of destroying. A lot of times they'll be planted in between harvests of other crops to put nitrogen in the soil, which acts as a fertilizer. So soybeans aren't really even that healthy for you. Plus, they have phytoestrogens, which mimic estrogen in the body. It can cause endocrine disruption. So not really my choice. Probably a topic for another video. I'll go into it in depth another time. Spinach. 1 cup of raw spinach contains approximately 656 milligrams of oxalate. Now, spinach is a popular leafy green that people put into green smoothies, and it's really easy to overdo. You can put several handfuls in there, and 1 cup of raw spinach, I can probably grab that with my hand. So really, it's not that much. If you're putting 2 big handfuls in your green smoothie, you're getting a lot of oxalate. I used to eat a lot of green smoothies. However, after finding out some of this info, I really stopped. I'll eat fruit because I like fruit, and fruit has some vitamins and stuff. Plus, it's hydrating, it's tasty, the right fruit. However, I've cut some of these vegetables out because they're just not that healthy. Oh, another point, oxalic acid is really an anti-nutrient. If you're consuming a lot of these foods with high oxalate content, the oxalate will bind to calcium and other minerals and prevent absorption of it. So there's kind of 2 knocks against it. Not only can these cause kidney stones, but consuming high levels of oxalate can bind with other minerals and prevent you from absorbing the minerals that you want. So rhubarb. 1 cup of cooked rhubarb contains approximately 541 milligrams of oxalate. I don't know, a lot of people are going out there and consuming a ton of rhubarb. However, you should be aware of it. It's in pies. So keep that in consideration. Almonds. 1 ounce of almonds, approximately 23 almonds. That's not that many. If you're snacking on almonds throughout the day or if you're eating the flavored ones, it's really easy to eat a lot more than 1 ounce. And 1 ounce contains 183 milligrams of oxalate. If you have 2 ounces or more, you're getting close to over that threshold of 400 milligrams. Quinoa. A lot of people look at quinoa as a really healthy food. 1 cup of cooked quinoa contains approximately 177 milligrams of oxalate. And you have to consider all these foods together, right? If you're health conscious and you're eating a lot of these healthy foods, you can get over not only 400 milligrams, but easily over a gram of oxalate per day. So be aware of that. Beets. 1 cup of raw beets contains approximately 164 milligrams of oxalate, and chocolate has a moderate level of oxalic acid content. 1 ounce of dark chocolate contains approximately 95 milligrams of oxalate. Now, 1 ounce of dark chocolate is just 4 squares of a bar. Typical bars you get in the grocery store, they're about 3.5 to 4 ounces, and they're broken down into 16 squares. So just 4 squares, 1 ounce, has a pretty moderate amount of oxalate, something you should be aware of and consider. Not only that, however, I made another article on my website and a video about heavy metal content in dark chocolate. Heavy metals like cadmium and lead are in dark chocolate in very unhealthy levels. Some of them way over the threshold for healthy daily consumption. They can cause developmental issues, contribute to kidney problems. Cadmium can have cardiovascular issues, cause cardiovascular issues, contribute to cancer formation. Lead, developmental issues, like I mentioned, even contribute to Parkinson's disease. So watch that video and be very careful about the brands you choose to purchase. Now, reducing the risk of kidney stones, what can you do? Well, you can swap out some of these foods for some other foods with less oxalate content. Swiss chard spinach, you can swap those out for kale. If you're inclined to eat kale, kale has a very low oxalic acid content, and asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower also all have very low oxalic acid content. So you can switch some of these foods out for those. If you're dehydrated, you're going to have a higher chance of those oxalic acid crystals accumulating in the kidneys. So be sure to drink a lot of water. Put some electrolytes in there too, because electrolytes are important for muscle contraction and nerve function. And you want to make sure you have healthy levels of those, of course. And that's about it. Be aware of oxalic acid content in your foods. Do what you can to avoid kidney stones. You don't want to get them because they're really, really painful. And oxalate-containing foods also act as anti-nutrients to prevent absorption of other minerals that you're consuming. So that's about it. If you like this video, if you found it useful, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.